What advice would I give to young writers, and what's the best advice I've ever received? Well, let's see. The best advice I've ever received about writing, it's hard to say. I've gotten a lot of great advice, and some of it from people I know, some of it through books about writing that I've read. Of the latter, one of the standouts is from Annie Dillard, who wrote that it's important to remove everything from a piece of writing that doesn't serve a purpose, even if necessary, the part that you thought was going to be the main point. Your writing isn't always about what you think it's about, in other words. Um, as for advice I've received in person, my thesis advisor in grad school, Charles Curtin, uh, told me to summarize my entire thesis in less than 100 words. That done, he asked me to expand my summary, giving each of the major sections only 100 words. Then I could expand again. It was a very useful exercise, one that I continue to use. Great writing begins with knowing what you want to say. And the best way to figure out what you want to say is to say it in as few words as possible. Less is more. Uh, but what makes great advice is that it meets a need. If I'm giving advice to a whole category of writers I've never met, um, the classic "what advice would you give to young writers" question, I'm not going to repeat the advice that impressed me because I don't know what your needs are. So I can't speak to them directly. They might be different than mine. So I need something more general to give. Um, so I'm going to say, it's something that is going to apply to pretty much everybody. Be patient and be obsessed. When you're just starting out, especially if you're a kid or a young teen, as many people are when they decide they want to be writers, uh, it's natural to wonder if you're any good and to start to worry that maybe you're not if you don't see some results pretty quickly. But the thing is, in the beginning, nobody's any good. You might be pretty good for a kid, or pretty good for a beginner, or you might have promise or something like that. But basically, uh, and that's okay. So just make your peace with it. It'll take a while, except that you're going to be spending most of your time and energy honing your craft for the rest of your life. That's where the obsession part comes in, right? You have to be obsessed with writing. You have to be obsessed with becoming a writer. Really. It's very helpful. Um, Work on it for decades. Somewhere along the way, you could become the best writer of your generation. I mean, somebody has to, right? Might as well be you. Um, if you can pull off the right mix of shameless arrogance and incurably low self esteem, uh, if you can believe that you're the best writer since Shakespeare and that you can't ever be good enough no matter how hard you try, so you have to keep trying, that will work well for you.